So this is session 1 of what I'm calling Behold, I'm Doing a New Thing. It's a new year. So how do we view what lies ahead? Do we see it as, just another one, the same old thing? Is it holding fear of what might happen? Or are we just hoping against hope that things will be better this year? Or do we have a real optimism that this is going to be my year? There's a poem by a lady called Minnie Haskins. I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year, give me the light, that I may tread safely into the unknown. And he replied, go out into the dark, put your hand in the hand of God, and that will be to you better than the light, and safer than the known way. It's a real picture of trust. The best place for us to be is in the hands of God. So we need to know what sort of God we are trusting. He's a God of new beginnings. He's continually making things new. This actually says two things to us. Things aren't going to be just the same year after year. Things will change. But if we're in God's hands, those changes will be for our benefit. I'll read a section from Isaiah 43, 16 to 19. This is what the Lord says, He who made a way through the sea, a path through the mighty waters, who drew out the chariots and horses, the army and reinforcements together, and they lay there never to rise again, extinguished, snuffed out like a wick. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I'm making a way in the desert and streams in the wasteland. God was talking to the people of Israel, and he was reminding them of what he'd done in the past, leading them out of Egypt. And in fact, he gave instructions that when they entered the promised land and when they were bringing the first fruits to the temple, they were to recite a little creed, which was about how God had brought them out of Egypt, because he didn't want them to forget. And yet here he's saying, forget the former things. But the second part of the sentence is the bit that really matters. Do not dwell on the past. God doesn't want us to forget what he's done for us, but he doesn't want us to remain so focused on the past that we can't see the new thing that he's moving on to. It's a human tendency to hang on to some wonderful experience and then measure everything else by that experience. We do love to tell stories of the great things God has done in our lives, but we mustn't ever let that stop us from looking forward to the next amazing thing that he wants to do. The new thing that Isaiah was pointing to was the fact that God was going to lead the people out of exile and back into their own land. He was going to restore them as a nation. He would use the king of Persia at the time, King Cyrus. Isaiah 44:28 says, God is saying, I am the Lord who says to Cyrus, he is my shepherd and will accomplish all that I please. He will say to Jerusalem, let it be rebuilt, and of the temple, let its foundations be laid. Now Cyrus wasn't a believer in the Jewish God. He worshipped his own gods, but still God was going to use him for his purposes. God is a God of new beginnings. God is a God who is always free.